Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you again for joining me. Today I'm going to do a review on a product that's been around for a while, but it is new to Ulta and I did pick it up. And we are talking about Morphe. It is actually now at Ulta. I did pick up one of their palettes that's been around for maybe I think around 10 months maybe, and I haven't really bought a lot of Morphes just because in the past when I did buy it, it was kind of like hit and miss. They have changed the packaging a couple of times and you know, they are a great affordable palette. To me, they're kind of like a hit and miss. I don't know if that's good to say. Don't hate me if you love Morphe. I mean, it is... some of the things I'm not very fond of. Like, these are palettes that I've had for a while. They're palettes that I don't reach out for at all. Now I have to say, if you're new to the makeup and you're an artist and you want to build up your makeup, then this is a great brand to start with. The reason why I haven't been a huge fan of Morphe is because some of their palettes are like, some of the colors actually are kind of hit and miss for me. Like, you'll have like this beautiful palette with all these gorgeous shades, but some of them don't work very well. Like, they swatch really like chunky, or they start getting a little see-through or a little patchy. And it's not all of them. There are only certain colors that are kind of hit and miss in each palette that I've bought. So I haven't been a huge fan of Morphe until I bought the Jaclyn Hill. So I don't know why I decided to buy Jaclyn Hill. She always comes out with great products. At first, some, you know, maybe a little mishap here and there. But, you know, I bought the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe and I absolutely love it. This is the one Morphe palette that I have that have had no issues with at all. I mean, the pigment is beautiful, the palette is beautiful, the formula is great, they blend beautifully. And if you're looking for a holiday gift, I know some of my viewers have kind of been asking me to review some stuff for holiday gifts. This is a great palette to buy somebody for the holidays. And the nice thing about it is that this is the old one. The new one is a little bit sleeker. It doesn't really get as dirty as this one. And the colors are actually in the back of the packaging, which I really like. So I was kind of bummed that I bought this one and then they came out with another one. I think maybe they should have waited a little bit because a lot of us were kind of like, what the heck, man? But whatever. It is a great palette. I love it. After this, then I kind of started changing my mind a little bit about Morphe, still on the iffy side. So I decided to go ahead and pick up one of these palettes. Now this is 25A, the Copper Spice. The display doesn't have like a ton of palettes. Like, you're not gonna go to Ulta and pick up the ones that they have at the Morphe site. I'm sorry if you hear any snoring, that's my bulldog. She's very loud and she waits for me outside the door. So I just wanted to put that out there. So anyway, there's around 6 different palettes. They don't have a ton of brushes. And one thing I do have to say is that be careful when you pick up the boxes. Don't go straight from the, you know, to their display, from the display straight to the counter. Like, actually take the time to open it up. It does come with bubble wrap, so I do like that. But the display is a little bit on the wonky side. It's a little wonky because the other palettes that they actually had, I opened up and they were broken because the display's kind of like wonky. It sits kind of weird, and if you pull one out, another one comes out. Like, I pulled this one out and 2 other ones came out. So the display I'm not very keen on, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you open the palette and check it out before you take it home because you probably will be returning it. This is the only one that was not broken. Now, I was playing with this for a while and I wasn't sure, but you know what? I swatched every single one of these, and unlike these, I don't know if I know they changed their packaging like 3 times or something because I have several different ones, and these were okay hit and miss when I swatch them, but I've actually been swatching these and playing with these. These actually swatch really nicely. I haven't had, well, I'll tell you in a second, but I haven't had a lot of bad swatches and stuff like that. I did use it for the last 2 days. I've been playing with it because, you know, I always like to, you know, kind of try it out before I review it. This also came with the names. Like, you know, I'd rather it have a mirror and it be in the back or something. But it did come with this thing that we all throw away, and it does have the names on it, so that's nice. So when we use it, we could tell you what eyeshadows we're using. Now, the first time I used this on one of my clients, I had no issues. The colors are beautiful. They, you know, they blended out nicely. And then on my second client, for some reason, the first client, I didn't even use an eye primer. I just wanted to see how it worked without doing all that stuff. And it worked beautifully. It was really pretty, and it's, you know, it just was blendable, beautiful. Now my second client, I used primer on her. It kind of got stuck on the primer. It wasn't blending out very well, and there is kickback. There's totally kickback, so you can't go directly from here to here because it is really, really pigmented. And the reason why I say that, because on my second client, I kind of did things a little different. And while we were shooting, we had to stop because she had all this fallout. So I don't know if it's because I went from here and directly to her eye and there wasn't a lot of, you know, and I didn't really take the brush off, or because I have to try it out and give you an update, or because it just kind of fell on her face after a while, because on my first client, I did put powder underneath. So when I wiped that off, so that's one thing. After that happened, and actually that's happened with a couple of the first ones, that's why I stopped using them. So I have to give you an update on this because it's a palette that I love, but after my second client, I'm like, is it happening? What, you know, is it the same formula as the other ones? And it's a palette that I kind of have to babysit because I don't want to do that. So I don't know what exactly happened. I have to play with it some more, give you an update, because it happened with the one client. My second client was a little bit of a mess. So for me, I don't want to babysit a palette like my Naked Urban Decay palettes. I always have to babysit them, so I had to pull them out of my kits. So for you artists, if you're going to put this, you might just want to go ahead and use it with the primer and try not to flick it off. I mean, it could just happen to me. I'm just letting you know what happened. Now, I haven't really bought any Morphe brushes because I've always loved my Deliums, and, you know, on myself, I use like my little, you know, elf brushes and stuff like that. So I went ahead and picked up just one, and I'm freaking in love with it. Like, I love this brush. It's not as soft as the other ones. Like, I have a couple brushes from like Crown, and after a while they start getting a little hard. Like, you exfoliate your face while you're using it, and I'm wondering if this is going to happen with these Morphe brushes because they're a little bit denser, and yes, it picked up a good amount of color. It blends out beautifully. So, you know, I like to try things out before I start reviewing them, and I don't like to look into other YouTubers because I want to form my own opinion, and I know there's a ton of YouTubers that praise Morphe and their brushes. So, you know, I wanted to give it another chance. But, you know, that did happen with this palette, but I am kind of in love with it, you know. So, I don't know. I'm going to play with it, give you an update. I do love the brushes. They're not as soft, but they blend out beautifully, and I really love it, so I need to go back and get more. So, anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm going to go ahead and do some swatches. So, these are the colors that you get. It is Copper and Spice. It's not brand new. And if you're going to be looking at the display, you're not going to be getting the holiday palettes that are out right now. You're only going to get about 6 or 7 different palettes that are in displays. So if you want the holiday palettes, you're going to have to go on the website. Unless they come out next month, or I don't know. But this is a little older. Some of the palettes on display at Ulta are a little bit older. All right, so the first one is this color right here. It's a really, really pretty color. That's what it looks like. Highly pigmented. This is the second one right here. I'm just gonna keep going down the rows here so you could see it. And this is just really nice and like a pale yellow. Then the third one is kind of like a peachy color. I'm not even gonna attempt to read it because I can't see it. It's that color. It's really light, but it goes on the eyes beautifully. Then this is kind of like a deeper peach. You're gonna see a little bit of that. Okay, the next one you start getting into like a mustardy color. Now, this is another thing that I find with some of these colors, like this one for instance, you kind of have to be careful how you pair it off. Because when I was playing with it, if you pair this off with some other ones, they start, depending on your skin tone, it starts to make you kind of look a little jaundiced. That makes sense. So be careful how you pair them off, because sometimes your skin could change depending on what color. Like it starts looking a little different. I know that when we do photography, you know, the photographer would put a girl in front of a certain color and it should start looking like jaundice. And that actually happened to me. I had this beautiful backdrop that I borrowed from my friend, the photographer, Krista, and it was beautiful, peachy and stuff. And when I started filming, I looked yellow, like I look jaundiced. And I've noticed with this color, messing around with it, when you pair it with certain colors, the girl was starting to look a little weird. So I have to kind of stay away from that color with certain people. And you'll see it immediately too. Okay, so we're going, just to put that out there. All right, so we're going down to the second row. Now these don't feel like super buttery and creamy and anything like, well, actually that's not true, because this one right here is starting to feel a little bit on the buttery side. But I did mention that sometimes they swatch differently. Some of them are not consistent or like the other ones, you know, but I find like this palette is, you know, it swatches nicely. Well, okay, sometimes it gets a little chunky. I swear I didn't do that yesterday, but you know, it's doing it right now. That's all that counts. All right, we're still on the second row. Okay, this is the last color on the second row. See how some of these colors start looking a little bit weird. Now we're going into the third row. This is what the third row looks like. I haven't done my nails yet. I came home like 15 minutes ago and wanted to do a video quickly. It's never quickly with me, but because my husband's at work and I want to have dinner ready for him. So look at that brown. See, they're just so freaking pretty. And that's the second swatch. Okay, here's this color. These colors I absolutely love. They're so pretty. Look at that. And then swatch it again. Okay, now we're going to go into my favorite colors. You know, I love those shimmers. Okay, I wish I had another arm. Okay, it's a lighter taupey. I think really that's what did me in with this palette. Look at that. Because I have to go over here now, sorry. See how beautiful? These colors, I feel like nobody could really go wrong with these. Like, they're not really like a shimmer. I forgot the name of it. I'm really bad with the names because all I really care about is how it performs, how it lasts, how it's gonna look in the camera, and what my girl's gonna look like, that it's gonna last. That's really what I care about. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't really care how many grams are in there or anything. I just want it to perform nicely. I want my models and myself, or wherever I'm applying it, I just want them to look amazing and I don't want to have any issues. Is that bad? That's all I care about. All right, now we're going down to the last row. Okay, now I'm gonna do it over here. Oh, just be sweet. Look at that. You can't go wrong with these freaking colors. They're just gorgeous. And again, if you are looking, some of my viewers that have been kind of asking me, and I'm really trying to get out there and get some other palettes to review for you. It's just sometimes it's hard, and I had the worst luck. Like I had the worst luck with cell phones. Everything always comes broken. I have to send it back and blah blah blah. So you know, I'm trying to get there. But this palette is a great little palette. I do like it. They have like little teeny ones that are like 12 bucks. This one I believe was $18. So you know, it is a really good price for all of these colors and the Jaclyn Hill. So please keep that in mind because I love them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some to my eyeballs so you could see what they look like. And the first one I'm gonna do is this color right here. And you know, I always have to wear lashes and stuff first because, you know, I can't see putting them on. Now, I already have a primer. I'm using my Urban Decay, which normally I love my Too Faced, but you know, I don't know where it's at. So, and I do kind of like this Urban Decay, just to let you know, this little Urban Decay, I love it because you could actually leave it by itself. You know, I like a little bit of shimmer, and this is what it looks like when you leave it on by itself. It's just like a really nice soft golden color. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pat that all over. Look at the look at that. Look at the difference. It just gives you a really nice pop. And it's kind of like that buttery color. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Now I'm going to go in with my little Morphe that I have used. And I'm going to do this color right here. Now remember, when you're applying this, you have to like kind of like tap it off, or else you're going to get a ton of color. And let me tell you, there's a lot of brown on there because when I was playing with it yesterday, I went directly into the brown to my eye and there was a boatload of color on there. And I'm just going to apply that on my crease. Oh, I love the way this brush, see, but some of the little hairs are coming off of it already. See, that's what happens. Some of the little hairs come off and they make me mad. All right, so now you could use this color by itself. Like, you don't need anything else. This color is so pretty. You can leave it on by itself and just kind of make your eyes pop a little bit. I'm gonna get like a little skinny brush, and this is just my little Wet n Wild. I'm gonna get that color and go underneath my eyelashes. My two little eyelashes that I have. So just gonna make it a little bit heavier. And then I'm gonna go into this lighter brown right there. And I'm going to kind of go over that one color. So it's just kind of the backdrop. Now, another thing about this, that just to keep from that fallout ruining your makeup, you could apply your foundation afterwards, or you could go ahead and put a little bit of powder underneath to keep that from having that fallout ruin your makeup, because it did ruin my little client's makeup. And the one that I'm using right now is a Laura Mercier, and this is the eye brightening powder. Now this is one that you don't want to keep forever underneath your eyes because it is pale and it will make you look like a little raccoon if you put too much on there. So that you do not want to do. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that darker chocolate. That's what it looks like, just really nice and soft, and just like to blend that in. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this deeper chocolate down in the bottom. And I'm just going to put that on the outer corner so that you have those other two colors as a backdrop. That didn't go all the way, I just went halfway. You hear my bully? She's so loud. Ah! You see, look what happened. How did I do that? Damn it to hell, that's from the swatches on my finger. I'm like, man, I'm getting really bad at this blending. But it was from the swatches from my finger. Oh, look, and today I'm actually prepared. I got little wipes that I forgot to wipe my fingies off with. All right, so anyway. So see how that came off? So that wasn't so bad. It actually came off pretty nicely. Did it make like a hot mess or anything? Well, I'm a hot mess, but you guys know that already. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead with that shimmery color again, that brown. And I'm gonna go underneath my eyelashes just to give it a really nice smoke. Just really soft. And this time I'm not gonna drag it all the way down like I normally do, just because I want it to be a little softer. And then I'm gonna go in with this, like, I think I'll use this one, kind of like this golden color. And I'm just gonna press it lightly right on my eyelid. See how you see all those colors? I hope you can see them. There you go. And that is a quick look. Just really nice and soft and smoky with the Morphe Copper Spice. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this video was, useful. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow again for another video. Have a great night, and thank you for watching. Bye.